G'day Flipsters, it's Seamus, aka Flipster Doofus. It's been so long since I've spoken to the camera that I've forgotten how to introduce myself. Anyway, it's a Sunday afternoon and it has been several months since I made a YouTube video. Mainly because I just came to a point where I was like, what am I doing this for? You know, like, what am I trying to achieve here? And maybe that was a bad thought process to start, because I just realized I didn't really have a plan, didn't really know why I was doing it. I just started doing it because it seemed like a bit of fun, because I'm a massive show off, and because I was excited about reselling, and I don't know, just thought I'd give the YouTube vids a crack. And it was going okay, really. Like, it's not the sort of thing that you start doing and if you have any, concept of reality and how hard things are, that you expect everything to just go from zero to hero in 3 videos or whatever. So it was going pretty good, but I was just getting to that point where I was like, all right, what am I doing this for? And, what's the prize? What am I going, like, what's the goal? What do I get out of it? And I realized I didn't really know. And to be honest, I still don't. So I thought I'll give it a miss and I'll rethink and I'll come back with a really clear strategy and reason for why I'm doing these reselling videos. Which was also silly because I'm not the kind of person that really thinks that clearly. I'm just the kind of person who flaps around and just kind of does fun things and tries to make stuff happen and just puts up with all the bad shit that happens as best I can, bite my tongue, try not to, say things I regret later, try not to do things I regret later, and in the meantime get out there and give lots of things a red hot go and see what goes well. I guess the other thing as well is that my band kicked into gear. We'd been rehearsing for a while after a long break, and when we kicked into gear, started doing gigs again, started doing recordings, I realized that a big creative need had started to be very much, satisfied by the band. And so I wasn't really walking around feeling like I had some creative itch that needed scratching as much. And so maybe that was part of it as well. But anyway, here I am. I just decided to press the button then because I was doing reselling stuff today and I thought, wow, it's been a while and I feel really grateful for the fact that I have like 500 subscribers now. It's amazing. And that some of the videos that I did, especially late last year, were getting upwards of, 2,000, 2,500 views and a lot of nice comments and stuff like that. And even though I understand that that's not a big deal in, the larger scheme of how many views the big YouTubers get, I also know from experience that, at the risk of sounding like a massive cliche face, from little things, big things grow. And it's those initial moments where you get, a fan or two for your band or for your art, or a customer or two for your new business. Those are the moments where, you shouldn't underestimate that, because if, getting that first sale or getting those first few sales or getting those first few fans of your music or readers of your book or watchers of your YouTube channel, that's half the trick. Like, it's actually harder than, like, a lot of people never even do that. But I realized that the next thing after that is, after a year or two of making YouTube videos about anything, most people stop, and I'm super guilty of doing this across multiple different disciplines and projects over the years. And Flipster Doofus, the reselling videos, has been teetering on the brink of becoming one of those things that I also just stopped doing because of reason XYZ. You've always got a good reason, but if you're going to make something work, you do have to keep going past that point where you have this initial flush of energy and enthusiasm. And I guess at the end of 2025, I was absolutely exhausted, fingers in too many pies, doing too many things. And I felt like the YouTube videos, even though they were going well, they take a lot of time to make good ones, right? I mean, I'm just talking to the camera now. I'm just going to chop it up, keep it simple. But the ones where you're running around town, you know, doing thrifting or op shopping, or you're, you know, filming yourself doing like hard rubbish, or you're filming yourself like running your business, tidying up, the one where I did making these shelves behind me, that sort of stuff. Those ones take a lot of time and a lot of effort, and they're great fun. But if you spend 25% of your week making $0, well, you'd want to have a good reason for that going forward. And I'm not 100% sure that YouTube is a... Let me put it this way, right? Let's say I started doing all these reseller videos again, really full on, just like going at it, hammer and tongs. And I started getting like, you know, 5,000 to 15,000 views per video, maybe had 5,000 followers, the occasional video that really like pops off like a frog in a sock and gets like, you know, 100K views or something like that. Like what's in it for me besides ego gratification? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a performing seal. I love it, but I like getting paid. So what I've been doing for the last few months is any spare time that I've had to do reselling, generally, I've directed that energy away from making any videos and just into listing, you know, selling, packing, posting, and a little bit of sourcing. I find sourcing happens easily. That's the bit that's easy to get around to, but the listing and the packing and the posting. So, and I've been making more money, surprise, surprise. But then I've been looking at Flips to Doofus, the YouTube channel, which weirdly in 3 months of not doing any videos or however long it's been, has ticked up from like 400 followers, maybe. Look, I make numbers up, but about 400 followers maybe when I made the last video, to like now it's picked over 500, and I'm like, oh, and the views have kept ticking up, and I'm like, clearly it's making some sort of value for people, but I just don't think I could go on making the videos like I was. And this video is a bit meta, isn't it? I mean, I'm talking about making reselling videos, not making a reselling video. But what I think I'm gonna give a crack at this year is just doing videos like this, where I literally just sit and talk to the camera about what I'm doing. And maybe, I don't know, maybe a tad less goofy. Probably depends on the day and what kind of mood I'm in. It does bring me a lot of joy to be funny and all the rest, but behind that is someone who's into business and trying to make money. And frankly, my favorite reselling YouTubers are ones like what's that guy from America, Justin Resells. I mean, you know, he just talks to the camera about running his business in an honest way, in a down-to-earth way. You know, he just talks to the camera and just talks about the business. And I guess the thing is, that's a lot quicker to put together, you know. I mean, you have to have something to say, sure. Although there are some people who can just flap their lips when they have nothing to say, which is exactly what's happening right now. Anyway, so I got a lot to say about reselling, I think. I mean, there's a lot of rinse and repeat too, isn't there? But you learn things, and the devil's in the details and all that. And I've done some cool things that I'm really proud of in the last 3 months, but I haven't made videos about it. I've sold some amazing things that I've thought to myself, wow, you know, this would be great in a video, but I haven't made videos about it. And I'm just thinking maybe I'll just do some simple ones going forward and just see how we go. And if they suck and I don't get any good views and everyone's like, well, I wish you'd just go out and be silly and do thrifting videos and stuff like that, then I'll think about it. Maybe I'll do them sometimes, but they're a big overhead. And like, I'm a 53-year-old child, and 53-year-old children need to make money, because everyone's got their hand out in your direction when you're in this phase of life, which is perfectly natural. That's just the way it is. But, you know, I can't just faff around and make no money. Like, that's not an option. So that's where I'm at. I'm sorry I haven't made any videos for a while, and I'm also apologetic that this video is simple, rambling, slightly off topic, and not great, really. But I just thought maybe just press play and just, like, you know, brush the cobwebs off and upload it. Say hello to everyone, my adoring public, for having gone dark. But, you know, sometimes you just got to lay low for a while, recalibrate, dream it all up again. I haven't dreamed it all up again. I've just pressed play today, like I said, because I just thought, actually, I'm probably never going to come up with any sort of coherent plan. So let's just keep it simple. That's the closest I've got to a strategy or a plan. I'm just going to roll camera. When I come back next time, I'll talk about reselling, not about making reselling videos. And we'll just see whether it's worth it and whether you enjoy them or not. And yeah, that's it. That's all she wrote. So let us know what you think of that idea. Tell me if you think that I suck and should just stop making videos altogether, or if you would like to hear me talk more about my reselling business as kind of like part-time and amateurish and side hustly as it is. I just make lots of mistakes and learn as I go, same as anyone else ever did, I suppose. Yeah, say that in the comments, make me feel like this wasn't a total waste of time, or tell me I suck. That's also okay. I don't mind. I got skin as thick as a rhino. So yeah, that's it. Good to see you again. I can't see you, but hopefully it's good for you to see me again, because let's face it, what's not to like? Ha ha! Stop talking. Here we go. I'm getting silly again. All right. Flip you later.